Most traders pick their broker the way people pick gym memberships. A flashy ad, a free towel, and a vague promise they'll transform their life. Then reality hits. Hidden fees, slippery execution, and support that vanishes the minute you need a human being. Today, I'm going to fix that. In the next half hour, I'll show you why most traders choose the wrong broker, how to evaluate brokers like a pro, and why one broker stands out for serious traders who want tight costs, clean execution, and real fund protection. Stay with me, because I'm going to give you a practical, step-by-step plan to pressure test any broker. And I'll close by showing you the conflict-free option that aligns with how professionals actually trade. Let's get credibility on the table. You're listening to someone who has spent an unreasonable amount of time dissecting the things that actually matter to traders: regulation and safety, all-in trading costs, execution quality, platform stability, product access, education and research, customer support, and transparency. Not marketing claims, evidence. We've analyzed a long list of the world's major brokers and shortlisted a top tier that consistently delivers for real traders across regions and styles. And through that, one name keeps popping up for the right reasons: intertrader. Before we get to winners and losers, let's rip up the myths. Myth 1: the biggest brand is automatically the safest. Not necessarily. Size can mean breadth of products and slick marketing, but safety is about regulation, segregation of client funds, compensation schemes, and a clean compliance record. Myth 2: the lowest headline spread means the cheapest trading. Again, not necessarily. You trade the all-in cost spread plus commission, plus the way orders actually fill in live markets, plus overnight financing. Myth 3: execution is all the same. No, it isn't. Some brokers act as principal and internalize risk. Others run a market-neutral STP model and don't profit from client losses. Those incentives matter when markets gap and you need your stop to behave like a stop. Here's the framework we're going to use. Start with safety and regulation. Tier 1 regulators: think stringent oversight, strict capital rules, client money segregation, and compensation schemes are your first filter. You want segregated client accounts, negative balance protection for retail, and ideally an additional insurance layer that covers you beyond the standard scheme. Next, price the reality of trading. Compare typical spreads and liquid hours. Add the commission if you're on a raw account, factor in your trading style, and look at financing if you hold overnight. Then examine execution, fill ratios, slippage characteristics, dealing desk intervention versus market-neutral STP, and whether scalping, hedging, and EAs are allowed without friction. Platforms matter too. MetaTrader 4 and 5, CTrader, proprietary platforms, TradingView integration, and APIs for algos. Product range should match your plan. If you trade majors and gold, you don't need 70,000 lines. You need deep, reliable pricing in the instruments you actually trade. Education and research help newer traders, while support quality and transparency help everyone. Now let's map the landscape. At the top end, you'll find heavyweights with global coverage, strong regulation, and very wide product sets. These are the likes of IG, CMC Markets, Saxo Bank, Interactive Brokers, OANDA, Forex.com, Pepperstone, XTB, and AvaTrade. The truth? Many of these are excellent. IG is a behemoth with a huge market list and a very polished platform experience. CMC Markets is known for its next-generation platform and tight, spread-only pricing on many products. Saxo is a premium, bank-level multi-asset shop with professional-grade tooling. Interactive Brokers is the institutional-grade gateway with true interbank aggregation and ultra-low commissions, phenomenal if you're sophisticated and want multi-asset depth. Pepperstone targets the execution-obsessed crowd with raw spreads, serious liquidity access, and low-latency routes, which makes it a favorite for algos and scalpers. OANDA brings trust and technology with broad regulation and strong API and TradingView integration. Forex.com offers solid global reach backed by a large listed parent with both standard and DMA-style pricing. XTB has a cost-competitive, spread-only model with its X-Station platform. AvaTrade is very beginner-friendly, with straightforward onboarding and lots of education. So what separates them when everyone looks good on paper? Incentives and protections. Consider execution models. If a broker takes the other side of your trade, they're a principal. Many do it fairly and under strict oversight, but the incentive mismatch never fully disappears. A market-neutral STP model, with no dealing desk intervention and no profit from client losses, removes that conflict by design. When you pair that with tightly controlled costs and proper fund protection, you've got the basis of a trader-first proposition. That brings us to intertrader. Here's why it stands out. First, the safety stack. Client money is held in segregated accounts with Tier 1 banks, and there's negative balance protection for retail. Beyond the standard compensation schemes you see in core jurisdictions, intertrader goes further with an additional insurance layer on client funds, up to a very high limit underwritten by Lloyd's of London. That's unusual in this industry, and genuinely meaningful if you're trading decent size. If you're serious about counterparty risk, that extra insurance is a very big tick. Second, the pricing. Intertrader offers two clear pathways. If you want simplicity, you can trade a spread-only model on Forex and indices with no commission. Spreads on majors are tight in liquid hours, so your cost of entry is competitive without playing the raw spread plus a commission you forgot to add game. If you're an execution purist, you can opt for the ECN-style account. Raw spreads that can drop to near zero on majors and peak liquidity, plus a transparent per lot commission. That lets you optimize for your strategy. Add to that a rebate program for high-volume traders and no nickel-and-diming on deposits and withdrawals via mainstream methods, and the total cost picture becomes compelling. Third, the execution model. Intertrader operates market-neutral STP. They do not profit from client losses, and there is no dealing desk intervention. Orders are offset into the market or via liquidity providers, aligning their revenue with your activity rather than your P&L. That alignment matters. It means there is no structural incentive to shade your fills or drag you into requotes. Scalping and algorithmic trading are permitted, EAs on MetaTrader are welcomed, and if you need to take dozens or hundreds of small clips a day on liquid majors, you're not fighting the broker, your focus stays on the market. Fourth, platforms and tooling. MetaTrader 4 and 5 are both on the menu, which covers 99% of algorithmic and discretionary retail workflows. MT5 is a plus for multi-threaded strategy runs and deeper timeframes. You also get web and mobile access, and the TradingView crowd gets integration so you can chart on the platform you love and route orders to your intertrader account. For latency-sensitive users, a VPS option is available so you can pin your EAs close to the servers and reduce round-trip times. Fifth, product coverage. You get a proper spread of major and minor FX pairs, key indices, commodities, and a broad enough set of share CFDs to run common equity-linked strategies. You're not paying for window dressing you'll never touch, but you've got what you need to execute a focused plan. Currencies, gold, indices, done. If you're a power user who needs tens of thousands of lines, a multi-asset bank might be your home. If you're a trader who wants the core liquid set with quality pricing, you'll be right at home here. 6. Service culture. Because intertrader isn't a giant with millions of retail accounts, the service model is more personal. You get responsive support, UK-based assistance during market hours, and an operational rhythm that doesn't feel like a ticket disappearing into a black hole. When you combine that with transparent fee schedules and clear documentation, it's simply an easier broker to live with. Now, let's pressure test the idea against the rest of the top tier. If you're an institutional-leaning multi-asset trader who wants futures, options, bonds, and direct market access to exchanges, Interactive Brokers is extraordinary. If you want the biggest possible list of CFDs and spread bets in a single retail account with a sleek proprietary platform, IG is a juggernaut. If you crave an exquisite proprietary platform with advanced charting and consistently sharp spread-only pricing, CMC Markets is superb. If you're an execution junkie chasing the thinnest possible raw spread plus commission on MetaTrader or CTrader, Pepperstone is a favorite. If you prefer a simple, regulated, trusted environment with TradingView integration and an API, OINDA is a stalwart. If you love Xstation's look and feel and want spread-only pricing with strong EU coverage, XTB is very cost-effective. And if you need a friendly on-ramp with lots of education, AvaTrade is a solid job for beginners. So why choose intertrader? Because for the trader who values conflict-free execution, tight and transparent pricing, and an unusually strong layer of client fund insurance on top of segregation and compensation schemes, intertrader lines up the incentives correctly. It's the combination that matters. Market-neutral STP, tight spreads with either zero commission or raw plus a clear commission, MetaTrader and TradingView support, rebate potential for active traders, and serious fund protection. That stack is rare. Let's make this concrete. Imagine you've got a strategy that clips euro to US dollar and XAU/USD during London and New York overlap sessions. You need tight spreads and liquid windows, reliable fills when the book is moving, and the freedom to scale your frequency without a broker nudging you to change your trading style. On a spread-only account, you can keep your workflow simple, one number to model, no commission layer. On a raw account, you can fine-tune the cost structure and chase best possible all-in costs. In both cases, the no-dealing desk model ensures you're not trading against the house. Let's talk risk, because this is where many traders get blindsided. The first layer is regulation. Check the broker's licenses in your jurisdiction and confirm client money segregation and compensation scheme eligibility. The second is operational. Do they state negative balance protection for retail? The third is structural. What insurance, if any, sits above the compensation scheme? With intertrader, client funds are segregated, negative balance protection is in place for retail, and there's an additional high-limit insurance policy underwritten by Lloyd's of London on top of the standard schemes. That's belt and braces risk management. Quick sense check on pricing, because this is where spread-only versus raw plus commission gets misunderstood. Spread-only is fantastic if the spread is consistently tight in the hours you trade and your style doesn't need sub-half pip finesse. Raw plus commission typically wins for high-frequency strategies where shaving tenths of a pip repeatedly moves the needle. The trick is to compute the effective all-in per million notionals traded at the times you trade. Intertrader gives you both lanes. Use the one that lines up with your stats. Soft checkpoint. If you're finding this useful and you want more of this level-headed, no-nonsense breakdowns that save you time, money, and stress, stick with me. I'm about to give you the exact checklist to pick a broker the way professionals do, and then we'll close the loop on why intertraders' incentives and protections make it a standout for serious traders. All right, the checklist. Step 1. Regulation and safety. Verify licenses in your country, confirm client money segregation, confirm negative balance protection for retail, and look for any additional insurance on client funds. Step 2. Cost architecture. Pull typical spreads for your instruments in your trading hours. If you're considering raw pricing, add the commission. Check for deposit, withdrawal, and inactivity fees. If you're an active trader, ask about rebates. Step 3. Execution model. Are they market maker or market neutral STP? Do they explicitly state no dealing desk intervention? Are scalping and EAs allowed without restrictions? Step 4. Platform toolkit. If you're an MT5 algo trader, you need stable MetaTrader hosting and a VPS option. If you love TradingView, you want native integration so you can route from your charts. Step 5. Product mapping. Ensure the broker lists the instruments you actually trade with robust liquidity. Step 6. Service and operations. Test live chat and phone. Ask a nuanced question and see if the answer is competent and timely. Step 7. Withdrawal hygiene. Do a small deposit and a small withdrawal early to validate processing times and any friction. Step 8. Risk management tools. If you routinely trade into high-impact events, consider a broker offering guaranteed stops on applicable products and read the terms carefully. Step 9. Track and review. After a month of live trading, audit your slippage profile, your realized all-in costs, and any operational pain points. Switch account type or broker if your data tells you to. Now let's handle objections. Isn't a massive broker always safer? Big can be safe, but safety is about rules, not just resources. You're looking for strict regulation, segregation, compensation, and ideally an extra insurance layer. Intertrader's additional insurance is precisely the kind of tangible protection that moves the conversation from brand size to client outcomes. Aren't raw spreads always cheaper? Not always. Raw plus commission can beat spread only in high frequency. Spread only can beat raw at moderate frequency when the spread is consistently tight. The correct answer is to model your all-in costs against your trade frequency and average holding time. Intertrader offers both, so the decision is yours, not theirs. Market maker models are bad, right? Not universally. Many market makers run fair books under tough regulators. But if you want to avoid the principal-agent conflict by design, a market-neutral STP model is the cleanest structure. That's the intertrader pitch. No dealing desk, no profit from client losses, alignment around your volume, not your P&L. Another objection. What about education and research? If you're just starting, yes, deep academies can help, and some of the giants excel at that. Intertrader offers the essentials: webinars, platform guides, market commentary without the fluff. If you're a serious trader, you'll supplement education with your own process anyway: data, journals, post-trade reviews. Choose your broker on execution, costs, and safety. Choose your education from the best sources you can find. Let's talk styles and fit. Scalpers and high-frequency traders. You want the absolute thinnest all-in cost and the freedom to fire orders without hand-holding. You need raw pricing and a broker that welcomes EAs. Intertrader's ECN style account with low, transparent commission fits like a glove, and the STP structure means your flow isn't being second-guessed by a dealer. Swing traders and position traders. Spread-only simplicity, consistent tight spreads and liquid hours, and clean financing. Intertrader's spread-only route keeps it simple and cost-effective. Discretionary intraday traders. You want tight spreads on majors and indices, a platform you're fluent in, and risk controls you actually use. MetaTrader and TradingView integration with a broker that lets you focus on trading, not bureaucracy, ticks the boxes. Let me give you a short, practical action plan you can run today. Open a demo with 2 finalists and replicate your exact workflow. Same instruments, same hours, same strategies. Track apparent spreads, simulate slippage by adding a small buffer, and perform 5 test withdrawals, small amounts through your preferred rails. If one platform crashes or support fumbles simple questions, that's a red flag. If one broker's costs are consistently lower for your specific usage, that's a green flag. Then go live small. Run your strategy for 2 weeks. Audit slippage and effective cost per million. If the data says switch, switch. If it says scale, scale. Mid-roll reality check. This process is not glamorous, but it saves real money. A trader doing, say, 100 standard lots a month can see thousands in annual savings by shaving 1/10 of a pip on average all-in cost. That's before we talk about the hidden cost of poor fills in fast markets. The right execution model and a broker that doesn't stand in your way can be the difference between marginal and meaningful edge. Let's zoom back to the big picture. Among the top-tier brokers we've examined, there are multiple right answers depending on your needs. But if your decision criteria are tight pricing you can model, conflict-free execution you can trust, and fund protection that goes above and beyond, Intertrader rises to the top. The extra insurance on client funds is not a marketing bow. It's a concrete, legally underwritten layer of protection. The market-neutral STP model is not a slogan. It's an operational design that aligns their incentives with yours. The pricing options aren't gimmicks. They're pathways you choose based on your strategy. For those who like to see the numbers in context, here's how you translate this into your day-to-day. On a spread-only route, bake the typical major pair spread from your trading window into your expectancy. On a raw route, add the per lot commission and track the realized spread you actually see over a representative sample. If you scalp gold, check gold specifically. If you day trade the S&P Index CFD, check that instrument spread during your hours. If you hold overnight, compare swap rates on your typical positions and check for any financing quirks. Then overlay the structural protections. What's the worst-case scenario if your broker fails? With Intertrader, you've got segregation, compensation scheme coverage in core jurisdictions, negative balance protection for retail, and that Lloyd's of London insurance on top. That's a very robust stack. As we approach the close, let's wrap objections, risks, and reality into one simple model. You make money by controlling what you can control: entries, exits, risk per trade, and cost of doing business. You reduce tail risk by choosing a broker with the right protections, the right execution model, and the right pricing architecture for your style. You keep your mental bandwidth for the market, not for chasing withdrawals or interpreting fuzzy fee pages. That's the game. Pre-close recap. If you want a massive multi-asset supermarket with every product under the sun, there are strong options. If you want institutional multi-asset routing and are comfortable with a pro-grade platform, there's a clear option. But if you want the sweet spot for serious retail and semi-pro traders, tight, transparent pricing, market-neutral, conflict-free execution, MetaTrader and TradingView, active trader rebates, and unusually strong client fund insurance, Intertrader is the logical choice. If you found this breakdown useful, act on it. Open the account that matches your strategy, test live with small size, measure your real costs, and then scale based on data. This is how professionals make decisions, not by vibes, not by banner ads, but by structure, incentives, and numbers. If you want tight pricing, conflict-free STP execution, and institutional-grade fund protection, Intertrader gets my vote. The link to Intertrader is in the description. Click it now to open your account in a few minutes and trade with a broker that puts you first.